Hello and welcome to my little bookish corner of the internet. My name is Harriet. Today I'm going to be talking through the 4 books that I got at a book swap really recently. We went for a long walk and then ended up at the book swap like we usually do. And it was actually different from the week before, so I got some different books and swapped out some old ones. So I'm just going to talk through those with you now. The first book that I saw is Memoirs of a Geisha, a novel by Arthur Golden. I've heard a lot about this book. I don't really love the front cover. I don't like people on my front covers, but it's fine, you know, it's free. I swapped it out for a book. I don't know too much about this, but I do know that it is very highly esteemed and people say that it is really lovely to read, very emotional. So I'll read you the synopsis. This is a rare and utterly engaging story. It tells the extraordinary tale of a geisha, summoning up a quarter century from 1929 to the post-war years of Japan's dramatic history and opening a window onto a half-hidden world of eroticism and enchantment, exploitation and degradation. So I think this might be quite a emotional and gripping read. I've heard many good reviews about this, especially recently. It seems to have had kind of like a resurgence. So excited to start this one. I've never seen the film or really heard anything about it, so we will see how we get on with this. The next book that I saw, I have actually never heard of in my life, but I have heard of the author, and I had to have a little think in my head of how I knew his name, and then I realised. So it is The Spire by William Golding. This author wrote The Lord of the Flies, which I read at the start of the year, I believe, and this front cover is super cool. I really like the way that it looks. I think this is going to delve into the darkness of someone's mind, I think, so I'll read you the synopsis. Dean Jocelyn has a vision that God has chosen him to erect a great spire on his cathedral. His mason anxiously advises against it, for the old cathedral was built without foundations. Nevertheless, the spire rises octagon upon octagon, pinnacle by pinnacle, until the stone pillars shriek and the ground beneath it swims. Its shadow falls ever darker on the world below, and on Dean Jocelyn in particular. This is a dark and powerful portrait of one man's will and the folly that he creates. So it seems that he gets obsessed with this idea that is formed in his head that God has told him to build this spire, and I don't know if he's going to kind of lose his mind a little bit or if he's just going to completely ruin this gorgeous cathedral or what is going to happen, but I just thought this was such a gorgeous book. It's a shame that it's so misshapen and it's going to be hard to hold, I think, when I'm reading it, but it's fine. It's also been annotated a little bit, but it looks like it was annotated by someone who was in school. They've used like highlighters and they've written the name in the front, so that's why I thought maybe it's by someone at school. So interesting to read and also interesting to look at the annotations and see what someone thought of this book when they were reading it. However, I did flick through and there's no annotations from like the halfway point, so I don't know if they gave up reading this or not. We'll see how we go on with it. The next book I saw I have actually read before, but it's been a very long time since I read it and I don't know if I would enjoy it now or not, but I saw it and I just thought I really do have to pick that up, don't I? Even if it's just to have on my shelf, and I know that's really terrible, but I love the Twilight Saga. There's no denying it. I absolutely adore it. I have Midnight Sun on my shelf still, even though I thought it was kind of a little bit trash. So when I saw The Host by Stephanie Meyer, I thought I would pick it up. I, like I say, have read this book before, so I do know what happens. However, I don't really remember the ending. And I have also seen that really terrible film that came out as well. Yeah, as I don't really remember any of it, I figured, you know what, we'll read it at some point. We'll see if it is any good. This is more of like a science fiction fantasy as opposed to Twilight that deals with vampires and werewolves. There are no vampires or werewolves in here. We are following an invading soul in someone's body. So these souls, I believe, are like aliens, and they come in and they take a host, a person, and usually the person's mind would not fight back against the soul, but our main character's mind is fighting back against the soul, so there's like 2 people within this one body. That's all I really remember. It sounds a little bit crazy. It's definitely young adult science fiction, so we'll see how we get on with this. I really like that the writing on the back is exactly the same as the Twilight books. It just goes to show that the author was maybe possibly riding on that Twilight wave when she wrote this. So we'll see how we get on with it. I might absolutely hate it, but it was free, so it's fine. And the final book that I picked up, I thought I recognised this author's name, but I actually didn't, because they've only written like 4 books before that part of a series, and I think they might be a bit smutty. So I've not personally read those yet, but I really liked the look of this. So it is called The Winter Garden by Alexandra Bell. This looks like another author's books, but I don't know who it is. But it just looks really familiar, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's been popular anywhere, or maybe I've seen it in a bookshop. I really have no idea. But I, again, didn't really know what it was about, so I'll read you the synopsis again. You're invited to enter an unusual competition. I am looking for the most magical, spectacular, remarkable pleasure garden this world has to offer. a garden that brings wonder and amazement to people's lives. The winner will be picked at the end of next year upon New Year's Eve. They will be required to give up the most wondrous part of their garden. In return, the prize will be one wish from the last of the winter garden's magic. So it's like a magical fantasy garden thing. I don't know, it sounded cool. I really like the way that this book looks and feels, so hopefully I enjoy this, but we shall see. I think that this is an adult novel. I don't think that it is YA, but I'm really not certain. So yeah, I had quite a successful trip to the book swap. This is the same one that I got the Dune book from really recently. They do have some amazing things there, and it's really nice to swap books with people from that community. Please do let me know if you've read any of the books that I have mentioned and what you thought to them. But that is everything from me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!